drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And before the snap here, we've got a timeout by the offense. It's their first of this first half, and they'll get together and talk this one over. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game, and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Now Keenum throwing on second. That's complete. It's Bell. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taken in at the 11. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Alshon Jeffrey, 57 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense. Marshawn Lattimore on defense. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play for the Vikings on third down. 55 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that brought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he'll at least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Keenum going to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Throwing is Keenum on third down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Brandon Graham with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And that score gives him a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On second down, Cook. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Keenum. They shakes him off. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing now is Keenum. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 20. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this 1st quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And now running right through it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Room here to run. Nice move at the 40. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback is scrambling around, actually takes off and runs downfield. And that's exactly what he did.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. of the gun. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They run for it with Ajayi. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Ajayi stops short on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you.
Still first down.
So following the penalty, now 1st and 5. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Timmy Jernigan forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offense. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And taken right at the 35. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out now come the Eagles. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. On play action, they'll throw. Dancing to his left. And some space here. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Back to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Nick Foles on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles continue to roll. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Keenum now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And it's up and good. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too. His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 32-yard line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Now Foles. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore. A guy who can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of them.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so great, but now hoping to get back to his former self.
I would say they have an extremely motivated wide receiver in Torrey Smith.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Torrey Smith, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are pouring. It on.
The previous play is under review. After review,
Elliott on for the extra point.
field stands.
And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to... this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And out now come the Vikings. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Foles. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Forced out to his left. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this 1st half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Eagles continue to roll. He's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And the route is on here in this 1st half. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. From the gun on third down, Keenum. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Keenum now on first down. Wright's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Keenum on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, here's Keenum. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Here's Keenum. The quick slant caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Now Keenum. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Look at the spin. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Black 22. Black 22.
They'll start out on the ground with a Ajayi. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you... Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And then lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Keenum now to throw. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is taken at the 18. And bulldozing his way through. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Where we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And that is what you call a hit step. Put down to the ground hard at the 28.